I wanted to show you these cliffs. Aren't they stunning? Yeah, sometimes you just got to get out, get scratched, get dirty, go for a hike, and end up in some glorious places. A huge valley here. Yeah, super cool. Life, a life worth living. In my previous videos, I was making it all about, what we think about. And I remember years ago, even going to some of the most beautiful islands, which I considered in the world. Maybe they weren't, but for me they were. And yet I was still upset with my partner, or, feeling isolated, feeling alone. And so no matter where you go, you take your head with you. Do you get it? No matter how much you do, how many beautiful places you go, how much money you make, how much shopping you shop for, and things you own, you still think. You still take your head with you. You still could be depressed. You still can be angry. You still can't be satisfied. You still can be annoyed at everyone or absolutely devastated by what people say or do, like your reactions dictate your happiness. And so what's really freeing is actually to own that. If you see that it's about you, that it's your problem, that it's your shit, that it's your choice then to change. And what do you change? You change your thinking patterns. Now, a lot of what we think about is automatic, right? That you don't want to be angry all the time, or you don't mean to be upset at what people are doing. But these patterns are there. We might vocalize it in jokes, like saying, oh, everyone's stupid. Or we might, roll our eyes, So we're thinking these things, and they appear to be unconscious. They appear to be happening, but the programs, the patterns that we have created and we live through. It's like putting different stained glass in your windows, or filters on your Zoom thing or your Instagram or whatever, putting the filters on. Depending on what filter you put on, depends on what you see or what we see. Depends on what glass you put in your window, shows your view. If you haven't washed your car windscreen, you're going to see a dirty world, right? And it's the same as our head. What I'm thinking, if I'm thinking that this world sucks and all the people are horrible, that's the world I'm living in. That's the street I walk down. That's my interaction with my family. That's my interaction with the strangers on the street. I'm automatically judging them. I'm a victim to them, to their stupidness or to their meanness or their unconsciousness. I'm a victim to that. They're annoying me. They're doing it to me. They should change. But no, it's not them that needs to change. It's you. It's you. It's the thinking. And it's amazing if we go back to the basics and look at what we're thinking about and start to change that into praise. Let's just start super simple. You don't even have to believe praise or appreciation to create it. You don't even have to believe it at all. But I can appreciate the cliffs behind me. I can appreciate nature. I can appreciate the trees for hanging on through all the storms and growing in such what looks like a hostile place, right? Just bare rock. But look at this beautiful place. So appreciation is a choice. So let's play with appreciation, appreciating the people in our lives, the situations we're in, the things that they do. How about you just really focus on praising today? And it's not about them. This is an exercise for you to see where you're at, what you're thinking about, for you to see you. And then by seeing how, instead of going, oh, he did it again, instead just praise, I appreciate that you're trying. See how your communication changes. See how you feel different. It's amazing how we can change our state of being. And by starting, it creates momentum and then becomes naturally who you are. Instead of having difficult relationships, they start to ease up. You start to see good in the people that perhaps were incredibly frustrating. You start to realize that it's not such a bad world after all. In fact, it's really beautiful. You start living where your body is rather than in your imagination or in your fantasy mind. You start living now instead of regretting the past or fearing the future, or planning the future and thinking about and overthinking the past, you know. But it's fascinating because you start to see you, and the side effect is you start to become blissful. You start to have contentment. You start to live in the present moment and in this ease and flow of life. And perhaps you start to realize the divine nature of all things, including yourself and all the people around you. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. The world is yours.